This channel does not promote or encourage any illegal activities. All contents provided by this channel is meant for educational purpose only.
Let's have a little bit of this. I get the big Bob Marley joint. Look at this. Here, try this.
Carl, I really don't do this very often.
You're gonna love this. Is dynamite hack. Watch out for this.
Maybe one drag.
Say you're in a Caribbean bungalow and you're kind of high. An exotic woman on the bed.
It's a little harsh.
Now, is she just the high-priced whore you asked for? Or is she an assassin?
Here. Cannonball. Right back.
Here's room service. Who ordered champagne?
How should I know?
Exactly. You're baked. You can't remember.
And then one more. He's right on top of Cannonball. Cannonball coming.
Point is, you come out of the John waving this around, nobody's gonna bug you for a tip.
Every single time. What's up, party people? Alan Killian starting it off. Fucking muy caliente at fucking 9:45 in La Mañana. But I agree with you. All right. This is obviously an early morning one. I just wanted to jump on this. The dude we were covering yesterday. We are getting joined by the hip. What is going on?
I had to make my tea first, man.
I got some cold brew in here, and I'm smoking on a strain they call the soap.
The soap?
Yeah, it doesn't. Sometimes they have a soapy taste if it has a lavender. If it's like heavy in the, I think it's carafilene. The lavender can kind of give it a kind of a soapy taste. This does not taste like that, but
yeah, I wouldn't really want some that tasted like soap.
I like it. It's actually a taste that I like. It is.
That doesn't.
Maybe it's like the Catholic upbringing.
Yeah, you used to tune on some bars of soap.
Yeah, fucking cussing and shit.
Yeah, I can remember distinctly a couple times getting my mouth washed out with soap, and my mom sitting there with a bar of soap like this, just motherfucker. Yeah.
I actually never had that.
Oh yeah. Baptists are a little harsher than Catholics. I mean, we don't fucking have altar boys, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. I was about to say
in predominance, but corporal punishment was absolutely a part of the Baptist upbringing.
Woo. There was what's now turned into like upper middle class like neighborhood here in Webster, but they had it was a big deal that they were the last grade school in the district to allow corporal punishment. Like up until when I was like a kid, through being a kid. Like
my stepdad was the principal of Clark Elementary School there.
Oh yeah, it's just right down the road here. Yep. Yeah. Clark turned into a high end. You know what I mean? Look,
Look, for those of us that don't live in Webster's high end, man. That's just how it works. I lived in Winchester, bro. I had a factory house built in 1953 that looked like every other fucking house in the neighborhood. It was auto work. It was a town built for auto workers back in the fucking 50s. Not the same.
As I have my Innsbruck hat on and shit. Hey, Sheen, right. What is going on?
What's up?
I haven't seen you in forever. Hope you're doing well out in the world. I had a dog that used to steal and eat bar soap. Rottweilers are weird, though. I had to start using bottled soap. I am. Oh, by the way, what's up, Larkin? I am so fortunate with Stella. She gets a little bit of the drooling, but not that much. And she doesn't chew on shit. She chews on her toys.
Gus doesn't. I got a lab, and he doesn't chew on shit, which just blows me away.
That is surprising. My lab loved to chew on shit.
Dude, my last lab was a mix, and she ate socks. She had 2 surgeries to get her stomach untwisted. It was crazy. A lab shepherd is terrible, but this guy, he doesn't. I mean, he'll eat everything that's food in front of him, but he doesn't, he won't eat a sock, eat nothing. It's crazy.
That is crazy. All righty. Let's see here. We're at 5 minutes. You're just shy of 6 minutes. We got 11 good motherfuckers right off the rip. We watched this yesterday. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I just wanted to play in the beginning because this dude's story. So what I'm going to do today, what we're going to do today is we're going to finish Secret Agent fucking Doofus released another video this morning finishing the story of him getting burned, freaking the fuck out that he was under mild surveillance. Fucking hippie. So he finishes the story, right? Because they cut it off kind of like mid-story last time. So
it's not a joke.
To get you caught up, he's confusing the different stages of a SDR, surveillance detection route. Surveillance detection route is a fucking operational act. What that means is you have to get approval to do it. But also it means because you're opening your up to an act of espionage. And so you open yourself up and whoever you're with to some other shit, right? So you have to get approval, meaning an SDR is no joke. It's simple. It's the simplicity. The beauty of it is the simplicity. It's in your planning and your execution. But to this guy, to Bustamante, he got, I think it's a training exercise, but he got seen by his surveillance. And then after he's making aggressive or evasive maneuvering, which the only reason you ever do that in an SDR is if you're caught. You got to get them away from your source or from from whatever meet or operation you're doing. You get them away from that and you try and get yourself the fuck out of there, out of that area and back to a safe zone, basically, whether it's a fob or whether it's whatever, the embassy or some kind of compound, that kind of deal. So he's claiming he got burned, but this first part I want to play again because he was in the military. He claims, I believe him. I believe he went to the Air Force Academy. I don't see any reason to disbelieve it. But he does say here, though, that he got medals from Iraq and Afghanistan. I just want to replay that before we go in to finishing up the other video.
Coming out of the military in 2007, right? We're in the middle of Iraq, Afghanistan. I've got medals in both wars. I'm sitting underground, babysitting nuclear missiles, and generally hating the fact that I have to shave every day, keep my hair less than it.
I'm gonna tear this back down to the very basics of semantics. He said, I got medals in both wars. Yeah. I got a medal in A for starters. It's one war. It's the global war on terrorism, the Iraq campaign and the Afghanistan campaign. Numbnuts. I'm so fucking sick of hearing that shit. That's literally how this works, you fucking Muppets. It's one war, 2 fucking campaigns. Okay? That's why there's 2 campaign medals. They're campaign medals. They're not fucking individual fucking war medals. All right? Let's just get that out there. Okay? I got 1 medal in Iraq in combat. That was the BSM. That's the only medal I got. Now, I was awarded service medals for going to Iraq. That's different.
Service awards, yeah.
That's different. So when I say I just take it back to semantics, that's what I mean. I got medals in both of those war campaigns, dumbass. I got medals in both of those campaigns.
Yeah, let's see again, because he says it just real quick.
coming out of the military in 2007, right? We're in the middle of Iraq, Afghanistan. I've got medals in both wars.
I got medals in both wars.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm not saying that it's just, look, especially in today's environment, you need to speak clear. I was awarded a BSM in Iraq. I got the Iraqi campaign medal, and I got the Global War and Terrorism Service medal, and I got the fucking, what is that, the Army Reserve medal with mobilization device. Those are the medals that I got for going to there, but I was awarded one medal in Iraq.
Yeah, I got two just to one up you. But
yeah, I got my Article 15 at the beginning. There was no chance of me getting awards from our supported fucking units. None. Yeah. We didn't even get a coin or a piece of paper or a handshake from 161 when they left. They were like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers." Nothing.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I got a coin. I got letters of recommendation. I got ARCOM, and I got the Bronze Star. I was better than you, I think.
Now, everybody else we supported, 1919 Field Artillery and 37 Cav, they coined us. I got this big print of a painting that 19 gave to me hanging in the fucking hallway. They took care of us. But I get 161. Even though we were providing alcohol to the vast majority of their command staff, I still understand. And the colonel was a fucking cop up in Seattle, so he was already a cuck, and he didn't like me because I was a cop from the Midwest. So it was already a fuck you and a fuck you kind of relationship.
Yeah, and if you get that with your fucking the command you're supporting, it's tough. You're in a. It's hard to get out and do shit. Like, I mean, even like if you look at from my detachment, nobody cares. But like a dude in my detachment, a team leader, Joe is a specific kind of person. And you know,
yes.
And if you're not, if you're not into his intensity, like it can be off-putting. And his command that he was supporting didn't like him. And it was hard for him to get out. It was funny because we were all like, "That's what you get, motherfucker." But I mean, not that anybody. We didn't just like him.
That's just his personality. He is all fucking energy, and it seems to be nonstop. It's incessant. It's like he's just always burning.
It was nuts. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody with that much. And I mean, he drank coffee, but it's not like.
That's not what it was.
You know, yeah, it's all it was. He was in a job full of intense people. He was notably intense, notably ramped up all the time.
Intense.
Which makes
That's
sense,
a good way to put it.
Because he became a fucking bodybuilder. So he just channeled all that energy into fucking bodybuilding, which was good for him. Okay, so let's get to him and his wife finishing this story. There is some revealing stuff in this, by the way, and I can kind of understand. Actually, no, I very much understand. If you're not familiar with how this stuff works, it may be something that's not really caught on. But once he mentions it, I won't spoil it here. Once he mentions it, though, it throws everything else into a lie, basically.
I'll say this. I'm like the vast majority of the chat here because I have zero clue how any of this shit works outside of movies. That's my level of engagement and experience with this shit. So let's see. Now you got my interest piqued if I can catch this shit.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I get that's why he fools people. And then he goes on these weird podcasts that I don't know, in YouTube shows that have like millions of subscribers and shit. Okay. Sorry. I have it on for in case of my dad. Oh no, I'm giving a lot of legal advice. No, of course not. Anyway, sorry, now I lost my train of thought from the phone call.
The same mistake he darted off in one direction, and I felt burned. Burned is the term that we use whenever we are
whenever you are burned.
We get it. You don't have to explain it. Not you, him.
No, I know. I got you. The way it's the same way as they did with the fucking email. Like, they have these ideas. They're all old.
Spotted, identified as trained intelligence officers. But I didn't want to act on being burned right away because our training says that just because you believe something to be true, you can't act on that truth. If you act on that truth, then you're verifying to anybody observing that you already know you screwed up.
Act on your own truth.
An SDR is not this goddamn complicated. I keep saying it over and over again. It is planned, and it's planned to the minute. It literally is planned to the minute, but it's not this complicated. If you have indicators that you're like, okay, I believe I'm under surveillance. You have these things. I'm not going to say what they are, but you have these things. You're like, okay, I have to assume I'm under surveillance. You don't immediately freak out. You don't immediately go into evasive or aggressive maneuvering. You do not. You have a plan for when that happens. You don't have to sit there and over fucking think it. You have enough shit going. I mean, trust me. It's good those plans are simple because there is a lot. You are watching everything. It's like it's
in my experience, again, in the movies, they always have a plan, and it's not something like you're saying they have to. This is the movies, right? It's just the movies, and they don't have to think about it. Now I understand that's how movies are written, but that's also what you're saying. You already have this fallback. We have the same kind of concepts in combat. Well, if this happens, we do this. If that happens, we do that. If this and this happen, well, fuck, we just fucking wait. It's contingencies for every single conceivable scenario that you can come up with. So you already have them laid out. I go to this place, I do this, then I fall back to this. You know, it's look, man, I get it. I guess he's trying to sell shit. So you gotta, I guess you got to do this. I don't know.
He is, but this is why part of what we're doing, what I like to do with it. People are calling this dude out as you know, gay, and
her neck is bigger than his thigh, lurking.
Yeah. But a lot of this is just bullshit, and it's smoke and mirrors. And there's just, the truth is, there just is not a ton of people who have experience with this stuff. And so, most aren't really, I guess more are getting on YouTube now, but like most people just aren't paying attention to this shit.
Well, and listen, how gullible are humans? Let's be realistic.
Yeah, totally. And if you want to hear it, and you're like, oh, okay. And again,
you're going to hear what you want to hear.
My take on this is that he did get hired by them, and then he alludes to something.
Stumbled around the arcade and played another couple of games, kind of half-handed, half-hearted, just to kill some time before I.
Again, I know sorry for stopping this. There's no killing time. No. There is no killing time in what you're doing on an SDR. Yes, you are doing things meant to make you look dull and boring. You can't assume that they're feeling bored. You don't kill fucking time, because when you're killing time, that changes when you have an operational act at the end of this SDR. That's the whole point, is to see if you're being surveilled before you do the actual mission or operation, right? And so you pull off it. You fuck everything up with your timing if you just kill time.
I left and finished my SDR route, finished my collection, and went back to my hotel for the night. The whole process that I go through during the surveillance detection route, the whole process that I go through to evacuate the country safely, is all part of the details that we put inside Shadow Cell. But the feeling that predominated,
you're evacuating the whole country,
my thought process.
Words matter, bro. Words matter.
Not to him.
This was just this feeling of failure. This feeling like I was a bad spy.
You were a bad spy, and also he's about to admit he didn't even make it.
Bad at what I do, bad at what I collect. When I think I'm good, I'm not good. It was just this humiliating and humbling experience. And it wasn't helped as I went through the process of writing the book. Because when you write a book, it's cathartic in a way because it gets all this stuff out. But
wait,
I'm not good. It was just this humiliating and humbling experience.
What did it? Well, I don't. Let's see.
And it wasn't helped as I went through the process of writing the book. Because
I'm sorry.
Process that I go through to evacuate the country safely is all part of the details that we put inside Shadow Cell. But the feeling that predominated, that dominated my thought process was just this feeling of failure. This feeling like
this is why he failed.
I was a bad spy.
Because you want to name
your
cell something that sounds like it's a spy fucking gay thing, like Shadow Cell. Might as well be the Care Bears or My Little Pony or Shadow Cell.
Cultural Studies Office. It is something that's like, it's always something innocuous. It's meant to be.
What I collect, when I think I'm good, I'm not good. It was just this humiliating
study and observation group, right? SOG.
And humbling experience. And it wasn't helped as I went through the process of writing the book. Because when you write a book, it's cathartic in a way because it gets all this stuff out. But it's also this black and white kind of stark reminder of all the things that you've done wrong.
I'm just going to look at you longingly for the rest of this show.
Whatever I did that got caught was wrong. If they caught me on my own behaviors, if the mole was the one that identified me to them, then I lost the ability to operate inside of Falcon on that day. I could no longer support the rest of the Shadow Cell. I could no longer support my team. I had a role to play.
As a reminder to everybody, in his story about this, in this story, he is sent in to be the public bait for the mole. Meaning it should have been, if this was a real operation, it was not. Hint, spoiler alert, Rocky wins this one. It's not a real fucking operation. But he was bait. The whole point was to have him get found out that he was supposedly for this mole. And now
did you know that if you do not remove a mole correctly, it will grow back?
And I couldn't play that role anymore. And I think that's especially powerful to me because, I'm not a case officer. I was supposed to be a case officer, but I'm not, because when CIA assessed.
So look what he's doing, by the way. He is kind of psychotic, to be honest. Okay. Right when he is saying this, because this is a big reveal. I didn't make it as a case officer. He never got selected to be a case. It sounds like they didn't even send him to the farm. He either failed out of fucking FTC or OTC, I think they call it now, whatever. But FTC, right? The field tradecraft course, I think it was called field training course.
I worked at the farm when I got off of active duty for like 6 months.
Different farm.
There's cattle. There's just cattle and hay, alfalfa.
But as he's saying this, what he's doing is then he immediately puts up.
I'm not a case officer.
Arrows pointing down. All of this is meant to distract you from why he left it in. I don't know if he wanted to distract you from it, but what he's doing is all to distract you from the fact that he didn't get selected to become a case officer, which means all of this is bullshit.
I was supposed.
Case officers are not the only ones who do shit. There are GRS, but it's fucking bullshit. Not the luck. Those are good questions, Cap, because it's all bullshit. That's why I think he's talking. I think he's pulling a Todd, and I think he's talking about a training lane, a training exercise.
Supposed to be a case officer, but I'm not, because when CIA assessed me for that job, they determined that I wouldn't be good enough.
So they determined you wouldn't be good enough to be a case officer, but yet they're going to go send you on clandestine missions to go do shit.
On cases.
On cases. Right.
Okay, so you already had an insecurity there.
And that
Ernie's
was
a detective.
the first year.
So why not?
Ernie is a detective. Ernie's a special agent. So yeah,
Right.
There you go. There you go.
CIA. So even though I built this career and I had a chance to carry out this operation, I got to do these amazing things. All that plays out in the back of my head is I wasn't good enough then. I'm not good enough now.
One of the things that the CIA does is they teach you how to deal with head trash.
Mm-hmm.
What is head trash?
It's funny, actually. So head trash is all the terrible things that you say about yourself in your head. That's the colloquial term that we use is head trash. I'm not good enough. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I wish my smile was better. I lost my true love when I was 14.
You're not good enough. You're not fat though, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out.
Also,
I forget what the locks are, Lola. I'm sorry.
Unlock your reality. Remember Ernie had that weird complicated.
Right. I knew it was Ernie, but I couldn't remember. Unlock your reality.
Yeah. Fucking Ernie. Also, no, look, again, to be very clear, as I always have been, I was not in the CIA. I did not go through FTC. I've been through, I guess I could, SOC, right? I could say. So I learned.
I watched The Bourne Identity a couple times.
To go through to be a source handler, a military source handler, a level 2 military source handler. So maybe it's different, but I worked with these guys and I worked with case officers. Also, CIA isn't the only people that send people through that school. Other agencies and organizations send people through that school. It's limited, but still, DOD has the second most probably.
Hold on.
Maybe. You good?
I was talking to the dog.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying, hold on. Yeah, but no. I just mean I haven't been through. So maybe this head clutter shit, this is all therapy shit. My feeling is, since he did not get fucking selected to become a case officer, my feeling is he panicked on these training missions. Is that he panicked on these fucking things. They were probably like, hey, you're in your first year. All right, hey, everybody in this new cohort, let's go run through some stuff. Let's go run around Northern Virginia, DC, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. I don't know. But he freaked out. And I think that's what it was. This dude is in his fucking head.
Whatever, right? My parents didn't love me because I wasn't a good enough kid. Whatever it was, all those.
None of this shit came up with any of the case officers I ever worked around. None of it. Those dudes were, they're arrogant. They're fucking arrogant.
Things are head trash. They're subjective thoughts that you have because of your experience that don't have any basis in objective reality. CIA teaches us how to deal with that to a point. They teach us how to counter that when we are operationally active so that we don't get distracted by the head trash going on. This is what happened whenever I first knew I was under surveillance. They teach you how to handle stress, mitigate cortisol levels in your bloodstream, lower your heart rate so that you can get back to the task at hand.
How do they do that?
Techniques like box breathing.
What's that?
Box breathing is a process that's common in anxiety as well.
Yeah, breathe in 4 counts, hold 4 counts, breathe out 4 counts, breathe in.
Dude, I literally just I want to drown them like unwanted kittens when they speak.
Unwanted kittens. Fuck puppies. Fuck the kids.
Fuck.
Oh my God. Listen, they don't what they were probably telling him is like, hey man, you got to get your fucking panic under control. Like, it's the same thing. And look, when you go through these role plays and these exercises, you're the instructor, it's just you and an instructor in a car or wherever. It's just you two. And you're practicing running meets, you're practicing fucking SDR, you're practicing all this shit. And afterwards, they give you a breakdown. And then, they'll tell you like, hey, you know, you were sporadic here, you were doing this, don't do that. They just, give you a fucking AAR. So they're probably like, hey man, you are freaking the fuck out over nothing.
So, buddy,
just
also, yeah, somebody mentioned PTSD. I just went through a program, just finished it up with there he is. I just finished up a program where, for me, gave me the wheel. It's kind of the same thing.
It's the various breathing techniques where you breathe in for a certain amount of time, you hold it for a certain amount of time, you release it for a certain amount of time.
And the goal there is to reduce your heart rate, to reduce your blood flow, to reduce the speed at which the cortisol that's being released from your brain gets spread to the rest of your body. So you can start to take back your physiological movements and actions in a hope that it also brings back your cognitive functions and capabilities. So the visualization process, just like when you're meditating and you visualize a victory, if you're a professional athlete, if you visualize a beach, if you're stressing out at work, like you can visualize your way through an operational sequence to get yourself back to a place where you're in control. So they teach.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. When I get taught that by my shrink, for PTSD, it's for when I'm in a panic attack. It's when I'm having a fucking panic attack or feel on the verge of fucking one. That's what this guy's talking about. They don't tell you they're just like, hey, just remain calm. Don't look at the fucking surveillance, whatever. Just do your thing.
Just how to deal with that head trash. But what's really interesting is CIA relies on loyalty in its people to keep them at CIA. Because the worst thing for CIA is for a CIA officer to realize.
You just said in the last show we watched that you all are utterly expendable assets. So why would I believe that this is true? There seems to be no need for continuity of service within the CIA when it comes to operators, because they are just simply fucking these expendable beings that we can do without. We can always find another one. There were thousands of applicants when I got hired in April. So there's thousands more to pick from, regardless of all the time and effort and money and training spent on these individuals to go out and do this very specific, this very detailed job. But fuck them, just flush them. Well, we care about you. We want to keep you. You're talking out of both sides of your fucking face, bro.
Right. And it's, when they say expendable, you're going to realize why. It's because they were because these two tried to be like, wait, well, I'll let you listen. But they tried to make, and then he's like, they just cut us loose. And it was like, oh, okay. So now you got to make up the fucking lie that CIA, why in the fuck would they spend so much money on you to recruit you, to vet you, to train you, to make you expendable? And it's not the fucking movies.
Really are. Because when that officer realizes how smart
infantry weren't considered that expendable.
I was just gonna,
and we're expendable.
I was just thinking that too. I was gonna make the joke like, we're not a bunch of grunts, but at the same time, anyway, probably more expendable. Yeah.
How resilient, how resourceful they really are. That person can leave CIA and go do amazing things. So a big part of what CIA does is they train you.
They train you to hate yourself. The CIA trains you to hate yourself. If you've ever spent 30 seconds around a CIA officer, the last thing in the world they do is hate themselves.
I can see that. They have to be over the top in love with themselves.
They are brutally in love with themselves. Look, it's a hard process to get where they got. I don't like it, but they foster that fucking mentality.
To be operationally.
The last thing they want you to do is feel insecure. No, they want you overconfident, because some of the shit you're doing is ridiculous.
Please give me some woefully
but then they still condition you,
crying at the drop of a hat, fucking female type man to be an operator, please.
Right. That's you want somebody who's going to fall the fuck apart if the wind blows the wrong way. If you get
tears are an immediate reaction to stressful situations.
Exactly. You get
That's what we're looking
mildly
for.
under surveillance under a training exercise and you freak the fuck out.
To be like loyal and needy of outside validation, specifically from them. So it's a very strange flywheel that exists.
A lot of businesses are like that as well.
It's not a healthy relationship, but it's a very effective relationship.
It's not effective at all.
Not
So you get back to your hotel.
effective.
Are you not at that point when you're back at your hotel?
It's not effective. By the way, the Marine Corps is kind of like this. The Marine Corps is like, I don't give a fuck what you did yesterday. Yesterday got you here. What are you doing for me tomorrow? Like the Marine Corps does kind of build that a little bit. You're like, damn, like nothing is ever good enough. I kind of get, but that's the Marine Corps.
Well, it was the same. It was the same for me in the Army. It's always moving forward. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Great. Fuck off. Let's go. There's always something else to work towards. That's how you don't become stagnant. That's all it is. It's a simple fucking methodology to stay fresh, so to speak. Stay fresh. Clip it.
So fresh and so clean.
So fresh. I'm sorry, Miss
I'm
Jackson.
gonna find
I am for
like how to get through like the restaurant kitchen door and like
I was a CIA doofus. Miss Jackson. I was for real. I'm telling lies on
out the
YouTube.
back, and I'll cycle back to the friendly because I'd be up all night thinking about going through that bloody like restaurant kitchen.
A big part of that is what you do in the second phase of your SDR. And I had those thoughts. I thought about, I could get on a motorcycle. I could ride to a local airfield. I could pay in cash for that airfield person.
This is incredible. First of all, this is all bullshit. But if it's real, it sounds like a training exercise. But you had surveillance. They didn't arrest you. You just execute your plan. You just execute your plan.
A little private pilot to just fly me on a puddle jumper somewhere where I walk across on foot, and then I can make a phone call from another place. Like I thought about all that shit, right? The problem is, if you actually act on that and you're being watched, what sense does that make? The only person who would do that kind of crazy shit is somebody who's trying to escape the country.
So what did you do?
So
I went back to the hotel.
Or a spy who was
My plan-
admittedly bad at their job.
Yeah. Or a fucking shitheel spy who breaks the fuck down the first moment stresses. This is terrible. And by the way, folks, this is not how it works.
And was to literally just leave, was to walk across the border like any other law-abiding citizen and just evacuate.
Walk across the border.
CIA believes that all people are born with a spy secret superpower. For some people, that means they can win deals. For others, they can spot liars.
So by the guide from the dude who just told you in this video that he didn't make it.
I didn't make it as a case officer. The CIA evaluated me and they determined I wouldn't be good. His words. Well, loosely misquoted his words.
Yeah. But that's what they...
Some can even seduce lovers. I built a free 3-minute test to help reveal to you exactly what your secret hidden superpower is. All you have to do is click on the link in the description below, take the test, and start using.
Not going to lie, that is probably, I would say that case officers believe that. They believe they can fucking get anybody in bed. They're arrogant fucks. They don't talk like this.
Wait.
Make it.
So all these dudes that we know who, what do you guys call them? The dudes that sit in their mommy's basements, can't get any fucking poontang. Incels, yes. So essentially, you want incels for CIA agents so they can woo anybody into bed. Those dots don't connect anywhere.
No. It's fucking ridiculous.
Using your spy superpower to stay ahead of 99% of people.
Spy superpower. Wait.
To leave like anybody else.
Your spy superpower.
Yeah.
What was Ernie's thing? Super soldiers. Soldiers.
Yes. He's got the Ernie thing going. He's got Oh, that's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious.
Click on the link in the description below, take the test, and start using your spy superpower to stay ahead of 99% of people.
fly, to leave like anybody else would leave, and just gamble that they're not going to take me down.
Why do you not have a plan? Why do you not have a pre-planned fucking thing you're going to execute? God, this is driving me insane.
Because he's bad at his job.
Just gamble that I'm going to be more boring than they will be confident, and that before they arrest Alex Hernandez and make some sort of public international incident.
Again, listen, what's really interesting to me is, and it's an indicator of his personality, is he is very passive in these roles. He's like, I've got to get them more confident, you know, or whatever the fuck. It's always a weird thing. Like, no, dude, you have to fucking have faith in your plan and execute your fucking plan. Period. That's it.
So, I'm confused. Are we arresting Alex Hernandez, the actor, the mixed martial artist, or, I mean, which one?
Also, why, if you were using a cover name, what you just blew, this is all bullshit. That's why I think it was an exercise.
Going to think twice, and they're going to let me just leave.
What actually happened?
DEI Ernie.
So what actually happened is
what stuff?
Well, motherfucking done. Well, motherfucking done.
I'm opposed to dildos.
Ernie.
Well done, Mr. Nobody.
I get back to the hotel. I don't really sleep at all. I try to use sleep techniques to get me to sleep, because I am certain that at any given time,
fucking eyes,
someone's going to burst through the door and just take me down. Because they.
What? This is what I'm saying. Because in training, when I went through a school, we did stay in a hotel, and they said, "Hey, the hotel is alive, man. You got to have everything sanitary. You got to fucking, you know, like be prepared that we could, as host nation security people, instructors and people can just come in, or not come in, but knock on the door and fucking test you and shit." That's why I think this is a training exercise.
Already know.
Also, why would you need a fucking sleep? All you did was conduct an SDR that has baked into it the possibility that you're going to come under surveillance. that possibility happens, and it fucks your world up. They didn't even do anything. Now, if you are under surveillance, also you drug them to your hotel. Well done.
I'm changing my flight. They already know. I'm updating my itinerary. I've made all the phone calls. I've worked it through my company, right? My cover company.
Welcome to the Stone Vet chat, everybody. Rebecca and Dirty South. But stuff always happens when you least expect it.
To get me home early. So I'm just waiting for them to break in. They never break in. I go to the airport the next day, and on the path to the airport, I'm looking for surveillance, and I'm surveillance free. And I get to the airport first thing in the morning.
You run an SDR to check if you're under surveillance. Otherwise, you're just looking around. You're just being observant. How do you know you're not? If the way that you know you're under surveillance is they got to hit these couple of markers, 2 or 3 markers or whatever, right? To be like, okay, now I'm under surveillance. How is it you just driving to the airport? And why didn't you do a fucking SDR on the way to the airport? Fucking
morning, and I'm waiting, and like every step, I'm waiting for someone to jump out of the dark shadows and take me down and drag me off to prison.
You were used as bait. You said yourself, you knew going in they were going to use you as bait.
And it just doesn't happen until I get to the first entry point for the airport. I show my passport, I show my ticket, and then they move me into secondary. Secondary meaning where you try to leave a country and the Border Patrol says that you can't leave through the main gate. You have to go through a second round of interview. So they pull me off into a secondary room, and I go through a light interrogation with 2 local.
I actually did get pulled into secondary going to Afghanistan, leaving Virginia and going to Afghanistan, traveling by myself, not as a singleton, not like that. But that's how we traveled. Is sometimes you just travel by yourself to get there. And I got pulled into secondary in Dubai. I won't tell the whole fucking story. I've told it a million times, but This happened to me in real world. I think he's talking about a fucking exercise because they do this in training exercises. They do this kind of shit in training exercises.
Well, Falcon officers at like 7 o'clock in the morning, first flight out, and they're testing my story and they're interrogating me to understand what have I been doing in the country? Why did I change my flight? They're going through my cover story. They're going through my meetings from the day before. They're going through everything 2 and 3 times, which is it's an interrogation technique to see if somebody's lying. And I'm sitting there going,
no shit, Sherlock. It's no different than raising your children.
I know. Or just living.
If you've raised kids, yeah, I mean, you know how to interrogate motherfuckers. Trust me.
Hey, I'm gonna let this play for a second. Refill my coffee here.
Process watching what almost feels like 2 untrained Border Patrol agents trying to crack me, and it was a funny feeling because they were so bad at their job that it made me feel confident in myself again.
Are you trained on how to deal with those situations in terms of body language and how you speak? And
absolutely, CIA trains us on how to deal with interviews, how to deal with interrogations, and even how to deal with actual capture and strategic, almost like enhanced interrogation, like what we do call torture here in the United States.
And
so the CIA taught you how to go through torture. Okay, I mean there is seer school, I guess, but you're not getting tortured. Do you ever go through? I never went through any seer.
No.
I mean, not anything.
I did. Yeah. In special operations training, obviously, AIT, but I went to, what was that? Special operations first responder course, which was like combat lifesaver on crack.
Yeah.
And special tactical communications for special operations. That was a couple-week course where you go to their communication school and they teach you SATCOMs and all that shit. That's the only special operations schools I ever did. I didn't get to do any of the fun shit. Radios, because I was a radio guy in the infantry. They're like, oh, yeah, you already know radios. Motherfuckers. Fuck you.
I just handed that shit off to Dougie.
From your training, what were you implementing at that moment in time?
Mirroring is a big piece of what you're supposed to do in an interrogation. So you want to reflect back to the interrogator what they expect to see in a person of innocence. So you try to keep your.
But did it also make
yourself from jittering? You calm your nerves. You try to.
I did. Hi. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm actor Gay Tom Selleck. And today I'd like to talk to you about becoming a spy and how to freak out.
What is up with that shit on your head?
It's just it's a curl. It's called hair. It's called gorgeous, beautiful hair, motherfucker. Gorgeous, beautiful hair. Hi, sorry, I was distracted by another gay vet.
So you're a gay vet? Because you didn't want to get upset by another gay vet?
I said it, I was like, God damn it. God fucking damn it. Anyway, here's how to bring CIA stolen valor into your heart.
How about you navigate these nuts, motherfucker?
That was my first.
To match their curiosity. So if they lean forward, you actually want to lean forward too. And if they lean back, you want to lean back. And if they're using their hands to talk, you want to use your hands to talk, because you want to show them
your hands down.
That you and them are the same, that you're not better or worse or guilty or anything else. So mirroring is one of the techniques that we're using. I also used minimum information. There's a process called elicitation.
If you're being interrogated, they're not eliciting information. They're interrogating you. Fucking dipshit.
Words matter, man.
And
again, not if you're a spy, not if you're a fake spy. If you're a fake spy, just say whatever the fuck you want.
You use different elicitation techniques to get individuals to share more information than they're supposed to share.
You're on fire.
One of those elicitation techniques is silence. So oftentimes, if you want someone to speak, all you have to do is sit there and be quiet because it will force them to talk. This is something that many interviewers use, especially when they're border patrol agents or when they're like law enforcement or local law enforcement. They'll just let somebody kind of admit their guilt. So for me, they ask a question, I answer their question, and then we sit there in silence for as long as we need to sit there until they ask their next question. And then we sit there and I answer their question. We sit there in silence again. And that's combating elicitation. It's a technique that we call counter elicitation. And that's.
Tell him Derek Savage said, you're a liar.
God damn.
You're a liar.
Just one of several elicitation techniques that interviewers can use.
And that's useful in everyday life, I guess, as
Absolutely.
well. In what context?
When you're dealing with a negotiation, when you're dealing with a hostile employee, when you're dealing with a hard conversation, when you're trying to find information in another person who you think is holding information back, elicitation techniques are incredibly valuable. You can ask them a question. You can ask them the same question twice. That'll help you identify whether or not they're lying, if there's a gap in their two answers, or if they answer two different ways. And I mean,
all of this is saying nothing. Also, what?
You could get this from watching the first 48. You could watch a season of the first 48 and spit all this bullshit out.
Yeah, you could.
This is nonsense.
And I'm sure you've seen it as you one of the things that makes you such an effective host in your own house here
Take advice
is
from
that
fucking
you
losers? Fuck that!
use elicitation techniques all the time. You ask feeling-based questions. How did you feel about this situation? Take me back to that moment. If you could be king for a day, what would you do? Right? These are all very advanced elicitation techniques because it gets people to
very advanced.
This is literally the most basic level.
Yeah.
express more than they thought they would share.
So you're in that room in that airport. These two very poorly trained guys are trying to get something out of you. They don't get it out of you.
A thing or two about interrogating humans.
Yeah.
Not in this context, but interrogating humans to elicit information is interrogating humans to elicit information.
And it's whether it's cop interview or military interrogation, once you're in that interrogation, and elicitation, at least for us, elicitation would be, hey, I'm getting atmospheric sitting at a bar. I'm here, I'm listening, I'm talking to somebody, and it's interrogation. Just to me, to us, is a more formalized. Elicit these nuts. This motherfucker today.
God damn it! Stop hitting buttons.
I know. I keep trying to put it up too.
Correct.
So at some point they just let you go.
Correct. So what ends up happening is they're arguing with each other.
Nuts, motherfucker.
I don't know why they're arguing. It seems like from the pigeon words that I can pick up, one of them's talking about being busy and not having enough time, and this doesn't make sense. And the other person's talking about we have to do this. This is required, et cetera, et cetera. I don't actually know what they're saying to each other, but I see that their aggression with each other just keeps going up. Almost like two colleagues who are fighting, right?
That's not what pigeon. Pigeon. If it doesn't mean you know a little bit of the language. God, this guy is fucking.
Pigeon is a language,
right? It's a slang, right? I mean, it would be considered like slang for that.
It's a combination of languages and dialects.
There you go. Boom.
But at the end of the day,
so that's an awful lot. That's not picking up pigeon.
They couldn't hold me without either releasing me back to my plane or moving me into a place where they were going to retain me long term. So when faced with that kind of decision, they released me back to my plane. And then the biggest stress that I had was not running to my plane, because as soon as they let me out of the secondary interview, all I wanted to do was like,
before we look like complete fucking dumbasses, that we are wrong. Pigeon is a grammatically simplified form of contact language that develops between two or more groups of people that do not have a language in common.
Interesting. Huh. So we're both kind of all wrong in this case. Everybody wrong.
But we'll admit it when we're wrong.
Exactly.
All asked to my plane, get on my plane and feel safe. But I had to continue to show that I was not a trained officer.
And at this point, Jihi, how are you feeling back in the friendly country?
So at this point, I still have no idea
like this woman.
what's
She
happening.
got balls. I like that.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
So this chick is claiming she was she's
Oklahoma.
in DC, right? But they're trying to say she's in Wolf, which is DC. But they so listen, she doesn't know. So far, her husband, they're supposed to be a married tandem couple operating in tandem, right? Which means your marriage is overt. Probably a bunch of other shit too, I'm sure.
Married tandem couple.
Right. Didn't we have this
married
discussion?
Tandem couple.
Yes.
Yeah.
A married couple in tandem with each other. It's not as a throuple, as a couple.
More spy school keywords.
So my guess is they ran him through this course, or he went to FT, or he actually did get kicked out of FTC. And they booted him after this, because based on what he's saying here, it sounds like, hey, he's trying to say, hey, I was burned. I had to come back. I think that's just a story he's telling himself. I think what happened is he got booted. They're like, you're not going to make it, but we're not going to kick you out. There's other jobs other than being an operations officer or a case officer. There's other jobs that you don't need to do that, such as a staff officer, which is what he said he was. So,
by the time I hear from him,
but she's in his cell. She is in this shadow cell, literally the gayest name possible. Their insignia is two boys fucking. That's how gay that shit is. So shadow cell, right? They're all in shadow cell, supposedly. And she can't figure out, she has been getting communications from this dude, from her husband, through a non-operational phone, and he's not telling her anything, but he has executed their personal emergency comms that are not operational emergency comms.
he is in the cutout country on his way back. So I know he's left me a voicemail, and I know he's out of Falcon, the enemy country, which is great, but I know he's in that third country. So I'm like, okay, he should be on his way home. But until then, I mean, all of this that he was going through, I didn't find out until he actually returned home. And then I hear this story and I'm like, what the hell? like this is absolutely like our worst nightmare.
Tell him
like,
Derek Savage said
you're
you're a liar.
You're a liar.
And so immediately we are like, you know, we go into action. Like first it's like, I'm so happy you're home. And then the next thing is, how did this happen? And we just start taking action into, you know, investigating, like, did we do something wrong? Like,
why are they freaking the fuck out? It's surveillance. It literally is baked into both the job and the operational act that you were on. It's surveillance. It's like if you were in the military and you went into combat and you're like, oh, wait, they're actually shooting at us? I thought this was all fucking notional. Oh, fuck.
I thought George said the war was over, damn it.
is there any mistake that we could have made? And we have to research.
What are you going to do?
All of our own stuff. And, you know, and then we have to make the assessment of, can Andy ever go back in? You know, was this really what we think it was? Or,
and then why would these two be making that decision? You don't just make your cover up on your own. if you're working under an actual cover status, there's a cover office that builds your cover. That you don't decide on your own whether or not you're blown.
You know, is he safe to, like, is his alias safe? You know, and then we have to make
what
those
was your assessment? Did you think he could go back in?
No. It was too risky.
Yeah, we assessed that Alex Hernandez was burned.
Yeah.
And we assume
Alex Hernandez being your undercover spy name.
Correct.
The alias,
The operating alias that we used. And we assume that
why would you give this? If this was true, why would you give this up?
The cutout country, the third country that Alex was traveling through. So anytime Falcon wanted to track Alex, they would track him back to that third.
By the way, I'm not saying you don't make up stories like on the fly if something's whatever. But if you're really working undercover status, meaning it's like a cover office built this cover for you, you don't just get to choose whether or not. Like, oh, well, stop using it. Hey, guess what? I'm just going to say it publicly now.
Country.
Yeah.
Alex would even use the Falcon airline to fly back and forth between the third country and Falcon, specifically so that if Falcon intelligence ever suspected Alex, they would feel that much more comfortable knowing that they had flight manifests on him going back to a third country. So we just assumed from our study that Alex was fully burned, that the mole had come across either Alex's operational history or the mole had come across my true name operational history and tied me to Alex. Whichever one it was, Alex was burned. But
you don't even know. You don't even, what kind of study did you do? Holy fuck, these guys are full of shit. To be honest, I believe he was hired by the CIA. What this sounds like to me is he was going through some kind of training and he was in the initial year or whatever, and he wanted to be a case officer. They screened him and said, yeah, not happening, buddy. But you can go over and do one of these staff jobs. And then that's what he did. And then he's making all of this shit is like training exercise shit, it sounds like.
also assessed that everybody else who had been traveling to Falcon through the cell was still safe.
Mm-hmm.
So you assessed that your shadow cell, which was your team in the friendly country, were all fine.
Yeah.
But Alex Hernandez, which was your alias, could no longer be used.
Correct. That was how the cell was built. The cell was built where Alex Hernandez was the tripwire, where the first person to be compromised would be Alex, and that would be the forewarning to everybody else, so they could.
So again, by going by your own stupid made-up story, doofus, fucking, you use this goddamn alias as fucking bait. This cover that you built, you had built as bait. They realize you are this, and then now you freak the fuck out. Wasn't the whole point to find the mole, to get the mole?
So you kind of want to be found out. I don't know. I'm not a spy.
He's got a mix of there was some story he was telling where I was like, oh shit, that's straight from, but I couldn't fucking remember what it was. He does it where he's like, you know, kind of Kaiser, picks here and there, puts it all together.
Yeah.
I believe he was in the CIA. I believe he got hired by the CIA. I do.
Would start to turn up their operational security.
So does that mean it's game over for you?
For me in Falcon, it's game over. I can never go back. I can never go back in my true name. I can never go back in an alias name. All of my biometrics, meaning my fingerprints, my eye prints, like all of that is most likely compromised. All of Alex Hernandez, everything that I carried on me.
I've printed a lot of things in my day, but I've never printed anybody's eye.
Yeah, he's talking about biometric. We've
I know what he says, but you cannot print somebody's eyeball. Words matter.
Yes, again, words do matter. Yeah, it does sound like a training exercise. And if they had all of this shit, the thing is, none of it adds up to anything more than that, because if they had all your biometric stuff,
all the digital platforms that I carried on me, which were all.
There's things I just don't want to talk about. But like, and again, I don't want to use, I also don't want to use that as like a cop out to not point out what's wrong. But like, there's points of entry and infill, exfill plans. You make all of these plans. I mean, it takes a lot of, you got to get NGA involved because you got to get, all the imagery and everything. You're making these plans. If you got to get somebody into and out of somewhere. So like, and then you have them in your hip pocket and you train all this, but it's all just weird the way he's talking about it, right?
Air gapped and isolated to just Alex. All of those things we have to assume have been collected and synthesized and reverse engineered.
And you were running a real fake business, right?
Well, yeah, I was a middle manager. I was a middle manager in the very fake business.
Oh, you're a middle manager, and that was a business set up by the CIA. Okay. So is that in part why you both decided to leave the CIA? Did the shadow cell operation end at that moment?
Shortly after Andy was compromised, we found out that we were pregnant, and we were hoping to.
Andy's pregnant.
We found out we were pregnant. You fucking.
I never found out we were pregnant. I was notified that my wife was pregnant, and then I told everybody else that my wife was pregnant.
What? Look, I mean, the rumor mill is he took his wife's last name. I believe it.
Hernandez.
To be able to stay on at Wolf to continue, because I could have kept doing everything exactly the same. And then we could
Wolf being the friendly country.
Exactly. And be in the friendly country, I could have, done all my targeting from there, no problem. And then.
Yeah. So she wanted to be a targeting officer, and you can do it. We work mostly from DC area. You can do a lot of targeting from there, truthfully. No, I believe he was in the, I believe he was in the, I believe he went into the CIA. I do. I believe they hired him. But I also believe that he failed because he said it. I mean, he said it. It's not even a supposition. He said, I failed. They screened me out. I'm not going to become a case officer.
We could have, Andy still could have helped. He just couldn't travel into the enemy country anymore. But headquarters decided that we had been so successful and we were continuing to be successful by spreading the cell model to the other locations that they wanted us.
This is good. They fucking shelved us because we were so successful. Listen, if you've ever worked in government, and I've been through a couple of fucking reorgs and a change in how you fucking did things. It doesn't, this is fucking hilarious.
Headquarters decided
they were like, we were too good to be out in the field.
That we had been so successful and we were continuing to be successful by spreading the cell model to the other locations.
Right? Yes, I agree. If you guys couldn't hear it, it sounds like some of the teams we deployed with. Shots fired! 25 years later.
That they wanted us to come home to Washington, D.C. and train newer officers back at headquarters on how the cell model worked and the new techniques we had come up with.
When shots are fired, they're nowhere.
The worst part is we had a conversation about.
Sweet Melissa, hope you've been good, by the way. Renewing her membership. Thank you very much.
I like this woman. She got balls. I like that.
I like that.
I do. I like that.
It's going to get hotter. Cracker.
I just like that he added that Israel Free Nation fucking added that music.
Yeah.
What meant more to us, CIA or family?
Thank you, Melissa.
And without saying it, we were both landing on CIA. And we started thinking, how do we not give up CIA to have a family? So we approach the agency and we tell them, that we have this idea. If you'll put us on.
Oh my God, this dude was that guy. Hey, I'm married. So now me being married, even though we got married after you hired me, us being married is now your burden. Sweet Melissa, coming to muy caliente. Sorry, go ahead.
And now we have this other opportunity that you can exploit.
Yeah.
Pregnant spy.
Pregnant spy.
Nobody will ever assume.
And then in this story, they were like, we were engaged. Anyway, it's all, they're probably like, well, we were engaged before we were married. Sweet Melissa coming in muy caliente con Cinco Dolores. American. I mean, Cinco mi empresas gratis. Shukran jazilan.
I like this woman. She got balls. I like that.
Good luck, motherfucker.
Has anyone checked their sock color yet? Well done, Woodrow. I'm sure gray.
Light duty. Just give us some cush job for like 4 years.
You just hired.
Whoa. Hey, wait a minute now. I was a manager, but I was also kind of a bum. But really, here, let us do you a favor and let me go home and do nothing for 4 fucking years. What?
Give me some cush job. Again, this isn't DOD. The CIA is a small organization. I'm not saying there's not redundancy, but there's tends to be less redundancy because they just have less people. Can you imagine the fucking gall if you had a subordinate who were like, hey, I just failed fucking FTC. How about this?
Just got burned in the field.
Yeah, even by his own thing. Why don't you just give me some cush job? Why don't you just give me a cush job? Both of us, just a cush job for like 4 years. 4 years.
You know, I thought it was cool when they finally let moms and dads have 12 weeks off. And I was struggling with trying to fill the fucking gaps in my staff with that shit, right? 4 fucking years?
You're right.
Get the fuck out of here. Chump.
We'll pump out our second baby. We'll get our first one old enough to go to school. We'll get our second one old enough for a nanny.
So what about
and then
every other
you can
fucking
throw us
agent
back into the
in
fray.
fucking goddamn agency that has a kid? Fuck them.
Holy shit, I know. This is the one listening to this morning. I was like, all right, I want to fucking I want to talk about this because this is some fucked up shit, man. Fuck you, you entitled goofball. Fucking homo. Jesus.
They do that for other officers when they're not successful officers. But when you're a successful officer, they have different plans and they try to just push you and push you and push you. So they rejected our offer and they said no.
Because
you just said you were not a successful officer. Make up my mind.
You failed.
Jesus Christ.
You fucking failed. How is that successful?
Oh, it's a soft duty. And they put us back and they told us, gee, he's going to go to this office and do this very sensitive thing. And you're going to go do this other very sensitive thing. And your family's not our problem. And it was at that moment, I think, that we both realized CIA is never going to let us focus on a family. We're always going to be focused on the mission. That's what their job is.
I mean, this is so fucking ridiculous. This is so ridiculous, dude.
That's their number one purpose. Where if
God, he becomes everybody else's burden. You can't pass fucking FTC. You can't do this. Now you're pregnant. Now you're going to pull your wife out of targeting because you're now what you're asking is right after you failed. But according to them, they were so successful in this shadow cell. I almost guarantee what it is they failed out of fucking FTC. They were in FTC together. Shadow cell is what they called themselves. Oh,
the training gayness.
Yeah.
If our number one purpose is to be parents, we need to make a change.
What did the shadow cell accomplish?
Nothing.
In terms of the information or strategic objectives that it accomplished?
So the shadow cell.
This bitch is just as goddamn delusional as this motherfucking embodiment.
Together.
Yeah.
Really did do what what we started out, what the mission really did complete the mission that we started out to do. And that was to find new intelligence sources. And we were really successful in doing that.
And it accomplished its secondary goal.
I thought it was a whole mole operation.
Wasn't it a whole mole operation? A devastating CIA mole? Also, that's not what a mole is, by the way. A mole is one of your own people, like Aldrich Ames or Robert Hansen. The other fucking security forces throwing somebody at you is counter intel. It's not a mole or whatever. It's not a mole. Ugh.
We didn't know the effectiveness that the shadow cell had in ferreting out the mole until after we had left CIA. We found
you literally just said that the mole turned you in. That's how you got burned.
You failed and ran away.
Oh my fucking God. How do people believe any of this? You don't even have to be familiar with what he's talking about. He just contradicts himself. None of this makes any fucking sense.
Found out that the mole that we had been plagued by was actually arrested by FBI in, I think it was 2019.
It was later.
So, but the case file that had identified that mole started all the way back with our operations. So it was successful in ferreting out the mole. It was successful in building new intelligence sources inside of Falcon. It was successful in maintaining the United States' intelligence advantage against this adversary at a time when all of our other operations were compromised by the mole.
By you compromised the whole mission. It wasn't compromised by a mole. It was your stupid non-spying motherfucking ghetto hair having motherfucking ass with your stupid red fucking headband and your ugly ass fucking troll looking wife and her stupid purple fucking goddamn shirt like she's motherfucking Barney.
And she is a bit. I mean, you can just feel, you can just sense just that look, that school marm fucking look she's giving him right now. She's like, you're going too far. This is ridiculous. Dude, you compromised the mission. The whole mission was it a mole or was it to get new intelligence sources? By the way, to get new intelligence sources is the mission always. Always. But this is so fucking ridiculous.
I think what Jihi's talking about is a completely unexpected benefit in that our model.
So they put according to these two fucking doofuses, they put two untrained CIA officers who are in their first year of probation. They put these two up against an active, non-permissible adversary. Okay. And then what did you do? Proceed to blow the whole operation and find out nothing. He said, did the mole get you? And he's like, we don't know.
Seems to have become the foundation for a massive restructuring at CIA in 2014, just 2 years after.
A massive restructuring in CIA based off of you failing FTC.
Oh, yeah.
By the mole. I think what Jihi's talking about is a completely unexpected benefit in that our model seems to have become the foundation for a massive restructuring at CIA in 2014, just 2 years after our cell model. When I escaped Falcon, 2 years after that, John Brennan, then director of CIA, rolled out an entire reorganization.
Tied up in a basement prison cell? Were you in the fucking back of a fucking trunk of a car, bound and gagged? How did you escape the country?
He literally went through the airport and they didn't know anything. He was never arrested. According to him, he gets pulled into secondary, which, by the way, is what they do in training. What reason would they have to pull him in?
My stories are pretty fucking lame if you just tell it like it happens. I can church that shit up and make it sound like a rather exciting adventure. But is it really? Was it really? I don't know, man. When I hear all these guys churching shit up like this, I'm like, am I churching my shit up? No, because it's still lame. But that's how you know it's real, because it's fucking lame. There's not all this mysterious and magical and fucking, no. Look, we got in this firefight, we got in that firefight, fuck some shit up, lost this truck, lost that. I mean, it's really simple, everyday shit. Why does it have to be, I had to escape Falcon? Oh, fuck me, bro. I had to escape Baghdad, Josh. You and I both. We escaped it.
We escaped Baghdad. And look, we'll finish this off here in a second, but I don't want to sound cliche about it, but when most of the time people tell you the shitty part about it, it's like, dude, it fucking was sucking hind tit, and then these dudes started opening up on, we were like freezing, just standing there. I don't know, and then we get opened up on or something. I don't know. It's rare, except for podcasts where they're like directly asking about it. I mean, even over beers, it feels rare to me that dudes were talking very specifically about gunfights or shit, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
if it wasn't an intimate conversation with the dudes you were in it with, it's rare as fuck.
Yeah, or you're telling
those are rare too.
But you're telling you could have a funny anecdote about when it happened, or something kind of funny that happened in the middle of it, or something, whatever. But like, to really nail in on the gunfight part is, again, outside of podcasts, I get it, but like, it feels weird. This guy, though, apparently, according to him and his wife failed FTC, and then they were the fucking impetus for a total CIA restructuring in 2014.
CIA that was based off of the same cell model that we had built.
Okay. And that was the end of that. So, okay. This fucking guy.
I had to make the dogs breakfast, man.
Yeah. Nope. Perfect timing. This is it. That's all I got. I wasn't going to go over anymore. This was enough. I feel like I probably pull this guy up again. I was not expecting to cover this guy some more, but this was too fucking good. This was too fucking good.
Hey, you had to flee Falcon specifically, as I recall.
I was on Fab Falcon. It was on Falcon. And so like it's funny because when he's like, oh, and then Falcon, it takes me half a second. Every time I hear Falcon, it registers as that fob. It registers.
Every time we drove by, I flipped you guys off. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, we did. Took note. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us on an early morning one here, and for all the rewatchers, we appreciate it. If you want to give this dude your money, just understand you're essentially giving your money to a liar. I mean,
the purple people eater sitting next to him.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. There are way more credible, real stories, people writing books now, people outside of it that are real sometimes. then there's others who get on YouTube and lie their asses off. All righty, perfect. All right, folks. I don't have a bong. I'm not doing that today, but we appreciate it, and we'll try and come up with a schedule. We'll do something. You know us.
Yeah.
Later.
I want you to take the Frankenstein shit, the deer shit, the green monster, the bling, and the bling bling, and I want you to roll it all into one joint.
Which kills.
I'm good.
Racist.
No one's ever been brave enough to try that.
One man is. Roll it.
Not feeling super confident about this plan.
Racist.
I'll smoke it with you, bro. We'll go to the loony bin together. I don't give a fuck.